Hi, Beths.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Captain.
Red flag, desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry you.
Sour.
Love you like I love you. Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Beth. Cheers.
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised. This is ill-advised. Hi, Beths.
Hello.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to Ill-advised.
The podcast. Or the podcast.
We podcast too.
Yeah. Where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already podcast.
Yeah. Like your mother.
And your mother's therapist.
But not mine.
Yeah, mine either.
Because I don't motherfucking have one.
Oh, you. I thought you said your mother's therapist.
Yeah, and then I said, but not mine.
Right.
Oh, like as in my mom's?
Right.
She definitely don't have one either.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of crazy going on in this house.
Why do you think I need one?
No shit, dude. Back at you. Well, I mean, not your mother, mine. Although your mom might be a reason I need.
A reason you need one also. Yes.
And my mother.
First time I ever met her.
Oh my God.
I wish I could tell that story. Maybe one day we'll have Greta's.
Oh my God. We're going to be believing everything. And we're already doing so great.
We're not bleeping shit.
We ain't bleeping shit.
Did that go in my candle?
No. It hit your...
All I can see is flame. I can't see the specific candle.
Guys, I threw a paper towel across the room.
And it was going to light my house on fire, which is fine. But I just want to know ahead of time.
Like, we need to evacuate.
I can get a couple things.
Right. Like the one bra that fits you.
I want to make the 3 trips before I light on fire.
You're going to be held on for conspiracy.
We have you on camera with moving boxes while your apartment was in flames.
That paper towel reeked of homosexual. Was your best friend over?
Care to tell us what you were doing at the time of the fire?
I was podcasting.
Yeah, we were podcasting.
I was podcasting.
With our new microphones.
I know, we got new microphones. These giant duck mics.
They're huge.
They're humongous. They're chonkers.
They're chonkers.
They're chonkers.
And the best part is we have a white and a black one.
I know.
What's those chonkers?
We're diverse chonkers.
I am diverse in chonkers.
We need to have a diverse chonker portfolio.
Sure.
Right?
Is that just chunks?
What was it? Just chunks. Yeah.
Like a Facebook, but a chunk book.
A chunk book.
With all our ex-chunkers.
Oh my God. Yes, we need a chunk book.
Let's do it.
A chunkbook.com.
Guys, send us your chunks.
You've been ill-advised at gmail.com. Please don't post them on Facebook or Instagram. You'll get banned.
No, but you can DM us.
Yeah, you can DM us your chunks.
Yeah, the chunkier, the better.
Oh my God.
Anyways.
Let's have some wine.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I'm a bit thirsty.
Speaking
of chunks, what's this one, Beth?
This one is a mouthful of chunk because
I'm not chunk.
A mouthful of chunk. It's a Bordeaux. It was 1949. It's a 2015 Chateau du Roques.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Roques.
means. Grand Vin de Bordeaux.
Say it.
Plus a gin.
When I opened the bottle of wine and poured it for us, I started dying laughing, and he had no clue. He hadn't read it.
I had not.
The word on it literally is like pussy gin.
I wouldn't even know how to pronounce this at all. It's Puisseguin.
I wish I could see your face.
I wish you were recording my mouth.
I wish I was recording your mouth.
It's a region or something like Saint Emilion. Maybe it's like a SSE. GUIN. And you know I love my French wine. I don't know what it says, but it's good.
A commune in France.
Huh?
It doesn't have the...
Oh, so it is like a little community, like a village in France.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't have the pronunciation thing.
No? What if you Google Translate?
Yeah, here.
Puisseguin.
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 I don't think my mouth moves like that.
Puisseguin.
Puisseguin.
Can we do it one more time?
Only if you do it.
Puisseguin. Puisseguin.
Puisseguin.
What?
That part where like your brain, filters and goes out your mouth. I don't know what happened.
It didn't filter.
But it went in a different
direction.
Language.
But guys, it's a 2015.
It's a Puisseguin.
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 Okay.
Puisseguin.
There's
like
a G in there you're like not okay with.
Yeah, no. I'm not okay with it.
Let's try it.
Please.
I like my red wine. It's red wine season.
Yes, it is. Sean.
Feels like it too.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
Wow. Say Puisseguin.
Puisseguin.
It sounds like you're saying pussy young, and we need to cancel this podcast.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, it's not.
I'm not a fan.
No?
Nope.
Keep drinking it.
Okay.
You really aren't? Too acidic for you, or? Wow.
Holy shit.
She's so pretty, guys.
If I ever sat down to relax and poured this, I'd be
more tense than you were.
I'd get up and go clean just to relax. I need to relax from my wine.
Oh my God.
Oh, you like it?
I actually do. I don't know that I'd know to go back looking for it. It's cute. It's got the cute little French
Puisseguin.
type like this little French cottagey building on the front.
Yeah.
It's really cute. I want to live there.
Yeah. Go to
Puisseguin.
Yeah.
In Saint Emilion.
Yes.
In 2015.
Yes.
It's 14% alcohol. That's a lot for wine, isn't it?
That's probably why I'm struggling.
You should be a fucking pro by these standards.
Amen to that.
Amen to that. So, you got questions this week, Biff?
I have questions.
She's got questions.
You don't have any cool stories first?
Do I? Let's see. I'm going on vacation a week from today.
I just can't take you serious with that chonker in front of your mouth.
I'm sorry. There's a chonker in front of your mouth.
I know.
And it's been longer for you, so.
No.
No? Damn.
Them damn chonkers.
Damn chonkers everywhere.
They're not everywhere.
They're not
Let's
everywhere.
just clear that up.
They're not.
They're
just like the
fucking
chonkers.
not.
Let's clear up the chonkers.
Those two.
Let's give them some
Chonk free.
chunk free in 23. We're all gonna be lesbians.
Chonk free in 23.
Oh my God. I don't know. Do I have any interesting stories? I don't think so. I don't know that I have any anecdotes that have happened in the last week.
I'm failing my final project for this podcast.
Yes. Yes, she is.
Mother
You're
of
not
pearls.
failing it. You're just going to have to, go back to it. You work best under pressure.
Yeah. Except for this one, it's really been. I've had weeks to do this.
I know.
5 to 7 page report. I have 2 pages done.
You can do it.
Yeah, I know. It's just no.
Just start talking about the Revolutionary
I
War.
just don't.
I know you'd have to know about it.
It's about Brazilian forced arsonists.
Forest arsonists?
Yeah, arsonists that light forest fires.
Oh, forest.
Forest.
Oh, I heard forced.
Oh.
As in they made him be an arsonist. I was like, huh? I was like, my people do that?
He forced me to do it. Yeah, anyways, it's boring. But I have a question.
Let's go. All right, Beth. So you have 2 And I have the last one.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we both have like the same columnist,
Yeah.
but different
Yoffe.
questions.
Yoffe.
Well, we're at the slate with Prudie, and we love Prudie.
We do.
So go ahead.
We do love Prudie. Hi. This one is called. Also, this is September 24th, 2015
Dope.
at 5:45 a.m.
I love it.
Not me. The fuck, who loves 5:45
I
a.m.?
was probably at the gym. Yeah.
Okay. This one's called Apple as My Eye. Oh. My live-in girlfriend used her iPad to spy on my daughter. Dear Prudence, excuse me, my girlfriend has been living with me for 9 months. I have 2 teenage kids from a previous marriage. She has never lived with kids before, nor cohabited much. Did I say that right? Cohabited.
Yeah, you said it right.
And has found it difficult to adapt to having other people in her space. I've told her, excuse me again, that I didn't think my kids would touch her private things, and I believe that I've been mostly right. Mostly right. Recently, she took a trip to see some relatives, and when I turned out the light to go to sleep, I noticed that her iPad was on. When I tried to turn it off, I discovered that she was using the device's camera to stream and record images of our bedroom. I was very upset and great in her. When I confronted her, she admitted that she had been doing it for a couple of weeks. She also says she captured images of my daughter rifling through her dresser drawers. What do I do? Caught between a rock and a hard place.
Well caught.
Well, rock hard.
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes. But like, no. Goddamn chonkers.
I told you chonkers everywhere.
Rock hard chonkers.
You told chonkers everywhere.
Chonkers everywhere. So what I'm gathering from this is, actually, I can't really put it together at the beginning. Is it she's been saying that the daughter has been going through her things, or like, is there something in there that's been like alluding to the suspicion?
No, he just says that it seems like she's found it difficult to adapt to having other people in her space. I've told her I don't think my kids would touch her private things, and I believe that I'm mostly right. So that's like, I think she just had a general concern of like people being in her space. You know what I mean? Like, it's his kids, so they're obviously going to come into his bedroom.
Right.
Where she also stays. So that's what the vibe I get. Mm-hmm. It doesn't say anything about like she's concerned that they are going in her things. It just sounds like she's just kind of like in general. Excuse me. Why are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to breathe. It's one of those things.
I wish I had a picture of that also.
No, it's really not how I breathe. It's just how I sit. I have my finger in between my nostrils, just pushing up my schnoz.
I'm going to take a picture.
Just do it. We can post it.
Put it on our...
This is what we look like today.
I got to get a good angle of what I see.
There's no good angle as this goes.
There's not. There's snot.
There's snot. Yeah, so it's just... So she just put up this thing because she... I guess we have to go with the information.
She probably just had a feeling.
So she puts a camera up.
Also, can I just add that this isn't as spicy and juicy as I thought it was going to be?
Well, I mean, it can't be.
I thought it was going to be like she was secretly videoing her in like her bedroom, like trying to catch her like sneaking boys in a house or something good. Not putting a video, not that it makes it okay or anything.
Even
But
still,
I just mean, I thought it was going to be a little bit more
fun.
Yeah, like a little bit more edgy.
I wonder if our listeners will tell us that it's okay to skip this one.
Yeah.
That's okay. We got to answer it right now.
Okay.
All right. I think that What do you do right now is you kind of like tell your kids not to go through her stuff.
So,
like, was it like...
Is she wrong? Is the girlfriend wrong?
I don't think we have enough information.
She put a recording device in their bedroom.
It depends on where it was pointing.
It was on her. It was just a camera
I know.
recording.
The thing that's bothering me is not so much the bedroom
It's
part.
like when you catch your
but, like,
boyfriend cheating by going through his phone while he's sleeping. So it's like, fuck. I caught you cheating. And he's going to say, like, how do you know? And
I
it's
caught
like,
you. I caught you. It doesn't matter. You are.
Went through your phone. I violated your personal...
You gave me reason to believe that you were not trustworthy.
Right. But that's what I mean. It's like
There's going to be more.
rock hard place.
Yeah, hard rock chonkers. Yeah, no, I think that my thing is like there's not enough.
Pissed. If my boyfriend was recording, putting secret cameras without telling me.
Right. The conversation should have happened. Like, I'm going to put up a camera because I think this is happening. Like, I need you on board. Because I know what's happening. My shit's being moved. My shit's disappearing. Yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Or have a talk with your kids because I know what's going on. And, like, I know that as a parent, your default is to, like, believe your kids.
Of
or
course.
it should be.
True.
Actually, in my opinion.
True. Should be. Yes.
You know? But also when your partner is voicing concern, maybe not addressing it with them in an accusatory manner, but just being like, I don't know, let's name her
Rock hard.
Cheryl. No, not rock hard. Chonk. Like if Chonk says,
I think your kids are going through my shit.
then it's like going to the kids and being like, Chonk's noticing some things missing and she XYZ and or things are being moved around and you know, I'm not accusing you guys, but if you're doing it, I need you to take a step back and like never de-chonk the bedroom again.
Yeah, if you can't not go through her shit, then you just can't come in our bedroom.
Right.
And I'm gonna put a lock on the door.
But I think that that's the step we're kind of missing because we don't know
it would be
why she would put the camera up if she didn't actually have a reason. And we don't know that because he kind of just goes like,
right. I don't think my kids would go through her shit.
right.
I mostly don't think they would.
Right.
That's what he actually
But apparently it sounds like the camera shows.
Right.
Even though we don't know that the camera actually shows, just that she said it shows.
Yeah.
So we're missing some steps, some rungs on the ladder. So assuming that that information like happened and things were taken care of productively, what do? First of all, you tell her like nobody here is in the right. Period.
It's true.
So first of all, you deal
very
with
true.
her the way that you would deal with a spouse who's wronged you in that sense.
I
where
feel like
it's just
that violates trust now.
and it violates privacy. Huge.
But like now I'm not gonna just trust you anymore.
Right.
Now I'm gonna think you're always doing weird, sketchy shit.
Yeah, my kid's fucked up, but now
Where
like,
else do you have a camera?
right.
What else have you been recording?
Right.
What the fuck else weird
Is
shit
there
are
a
you doing?
PI?
Right.
You know? I agree.
Like it's fucking weird to do. And it's like I'm trying to be the girlfriend recording the children. You know what I mean? Like what type of girlfriend, what type of person do I have to be to, it's one thing to be like, I think your kid's like coming in the bedroom and like rummaging through our shit. And it's another thing to be like, I'm secretly putting up a fucking camera and recording this. Like, that's like entitled and like,
The only way I
is
can
the kid
maybe
ruining
justify
your
this.
shit? Like, is your shit
Right.
getting ruined or like missing?
Because things,
Like,
things missing or
Yeah.
whatever. The only way that I could justify this in my head is if he keeps believing the kids after addressing it with them over and over. And she's
Yeah,
like, no,
okay.
you're not listening to
Right.
me. You're not paying
like
attention.
you telling your kid to stop doing it
it's
isn't
not
doing
working.
anything. Yeah.
And you don't believe me. I need concrete evidence.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't justify her doing it behind his back.
Right.
Like he should have been in the know.
I feel like it would have been like, watch, I'm gonna show you. Like, watch.
So if we go from that lens, my thing is apologize to her for not believing her, but also tell her she violated your trust She violated
kids'
your
trust.
privacy and the kids' privacy. And I'm
While
going to
you're
assume...
worried about your own privacy.
I think...
Now nobody's got fucking
No
privacy.
one has privacy
Now
here.
let's knock down all the walls in the house.
Yep.
And we're living in one big
You're going to
open
shit
room.
in front of
Yep.
Ava and Nicholas.
Yep.
Those are the kids' names. I just named them.
Yeah, I figured.
Thank you. I don't know why Ava
You're
and Nicholas,
welcome.
but... Yep.
Nikolai.
Nikolai. Yeah, I like that way better.
Not to be mistaken for clitori.
Right? The abundance of clitoris. Says. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And then I would fucking kick my kid's ass for lying to me. And say, no, Dad, I never went through clitorized shit. I mean,
Her name was
Cheryl
Chunk.
or Chunk.
Her name was John.
Damn it,
Kids
I've given her
clitori.
too many names.
The kids clitori.
Oh my God.
Ava and clitori and Chunk.
Oh my
What's
God.
Dad's name?
Clive.
Clive. Never even heard that. Excuse me.
No, that mute button on your microphone is doing wonders.
My hands are full.
They are full.
Okay.
Wine in a phone.
Wine in a phone.
Wine in a phone.
What else would make my hand?
No shit.
Homework.
If it's not your kid, it's wine in a phone.
It's wine in a phone. Sometimes it's my kid and wine.
Yes.
Dear Rock Hard.
Is that what you wrote?
She used caught. She's way more boring. Dear caught rock hard. Please don't spit this wine out. It's gonna definitely stain.
No, go ahead. I'm good.
I missed the part of your letter where you say your girlfriend is wonderful, but ... That's funny because it was in quotes. From your description, there's no wonderful, just but. If two unsuitable adults want to get together and try to make it work, that's their business. But if one of those adults has children, then a different set of obligations regarding one's romantic follies kicks in. There was a lot of S's in there for me. I felt like I just tripped over every single one of them.
You did. I hope you're okay.
Thank you. I'm fine. First of all, your kids come first. That doesn't mean your children get to dictate how you live or that they have veto power over your love life. But it means that you, as a conscientious parent, do not bring something into your life and theirs who has no interest in your children and who is incapable of seeing that you are a package deal. This new love interest must understand that giving your children love and stability is your priority. But you've moved in with someone who seemingly articulated beforehand that she finds the idea of teenagers in her space appalling. Your girlfriend acknowledged she put monitoring equipment in your bedroom. The... what? Ostensible? Yes, reason being that she suspects your teenage daughter of rifling through her drawers. But if she felt that was going on, she could have come to you with her concerns so you could address this with your daughter directly. That your girlfriend resorted to a surveillance instead means she doesn't trust your kids or you. You have given me no reason to believe this relationship is worth preserving, except as something that drags on because you're too passive to confront how bad it is. You need to make a serious reassessment of your long-term romantic and living arrangements. Prudie.
Prudie went for the fucking jugular.
She sure did.
She sure did.
I went as far as to like try to think like, what type of human do I have to be to like actually do this? And it's probably not a great one.
Right.
But she was like,
This
no
bitch
fucks
ain't
given.
good. You guys aren't good for each other.
All I see is a lot of butts and no wonderful.
I don't think I remember in our tenure doing this an advice columnist that goes beyond the topic of the question.
Yeah.
She literally went like, no. Your problem is
She
you guys
answers
don't
how
like
we
each other.
typically answer.
Right. To each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that like the columnists are like, here's what you do, sweetie. No.
It's a whole lot of horse shit.
Prudie was like, listen, rock hard.
Yeah.
You're softy right now. Get this bitch out. I liked her answer way better than the question.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was more Jerry, and we were more like, I don't know.
What was the brunette
Montel.
lady with
Ricky Lake.
short hair? Yeah.
I was gonna say Ricky Lake, but I went Montel because, you know.
I forgot about him.
Me too. He was yummy. Next. Well,
Yummy next.
he was.
Okay. This one. Oh, right. This was an interesting title. I didn't read it, but the title is My Husband's Other Wife. And then underneath it, it says, she died so I could find the man I love.
You fucking, well.
Maybe, but I'm with you. I'm with you. Though.
Well, I keep going back and forth already, and I haven't even heard anything.
This is 2018. Oh, this piece was originally published on Slate on June 2009.
Oh,
okay.
I feel even better. So less morality.
Shortly after my husband John and I were married, on a day he was at work and I was at home moving my things into his house, I opened a cardboard box in the attic. It was filled with photos of his other married life, the one he'd had with his first wife, Robin Goldstein. Okay.
We're giving full names now, huh?
She was 28 when they got married.
And Jewish, apparently.
And 6 months later, she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, no.
My husband was nursing her at home when she died, just after her 34th birthday. That's so sad she died. Excuse me. The box contained wedding photos, honeymoon photos, and random snapshots of parties and birthdays. As I excavated, I could chart her illness by her hair. A cycle of dark waves, then wigs and scarves. After I looked at them all, I closed the box and cried for her, and for my guilty awareness that her death allowed me 5 years later to marry the man I loved.
Oh.
When our daughter was born, one of the sweetest gifts we got was a tiny chair with her name painted on the back. It was from the Goldstein family. How final it must have felt to them to send this acknowledgement of John's new life. Robin had wanted children, but her long illness and the brutal treatments made that impossible. All of us exist because of a series of tragedies and flukes. I'm here because 80 years ago, my grandfather's wife, Ruth, died suddenly of the flu, leaving him a young widower with a toddler and an infant. They say he had to be restrained from jumping into her grave. Oh, wow. Eventually, he remarried to my grandmother, and my mother was born. My grandmother banished all traces of Ruth. Her sons had no contact with Ruth's relatives, displayed no photos of her. It was as if she never existed. At the end of my grandfather's long life, he lived to be 95. His distant past became more present to him, and he began to tell stories about Ruth. My grandmother was more incredulous than angry. Can you imagine? She told me, do you know how long she's been dead? Oh, this is really long.
Keep going because I'm sucked in.
This is really long.
Keep going, I'm sucked in.
Okay. Maybe when my husband and I get old, memories of his life with Robin will become even more vivid than our years together. If so, I hope I'll welcome those memories. I'm grateful to Robin, not jealous. And then in quote parentheses, even if she left it to me to convince our joint husband that the laundry hamper was invented for a reason. I knew my husband for only 4 months before we got married, but I heard from others how protective, tender, and devoted he was to her. Because of their relationship, I knew that this was a man who could be trusted, who stayed for better or for worse. I also knew that it's possible to have more than one love of your life. I am the love of his, and so was she. Robin was born in Newark, New Jersey in 1955. She was a striking, slender young woman with huge dark eyes. She started her career as a city reporter in a small New Jersey town. And both the cops and the mobsters she covered had crushes on her. Oh, okay. When she reported on a trial of the Genovese family, the judge threatened Robin with jail for protecting one of her sources as a mobster turned government witness, and her case became a test for a newly passed press shield law.
Wow.
She was just as brave about her illness. After the first surgery, radiation, and chemo, it looked as if she'd be okay, as if the diagnosis might just be some ghastly glitch. But a year later, the cancer came back, and for the next 5 years, she endured everything the doctors threw at her while convincing other people not to pity her. Robin decided that for however long she had, she would make it a normal life. She kept working and traveling. There were many vacation photos in that box. And when the cancer spread to her bones, she went to the office on crutches. She had to stop when it got to her brain. In her final week at the hospital, she still got excited about fixing up a radiation technologist she liked with a bachelor journalist friend. Although they had spent their entire marriage moving toward her death, my husband says they didn't spend much time talking about this destination. A therapist once told him those discussions were like looking at the sun, something one could do only glancingly because of the pain. At the end, Robin told him she wanted him to have a child. She made him promise he would do that because she knew how much he wanted children. In their conversation, Robin acknowledged that if he did it, it would mean he had found a new wife. She said that was harder for her to think about, but she wanted him to find love again. I asked him what he said when she told him this. He told her, "I can't imagine life without you." Biff.
Still going?
A few months after they were married, when the sixth
this is a whole
anniversary
story.
of her death was approaching, my husband fell into a depression. He became silent and burdened. After several weeks of it, I wondered if this was what my marriage would be like. I decided that maybe I could be in a happy marriage even if I was the only one who was happy. Then, when the day of her death came and went, his darkness lifted for good. It was a last spasm of guilt about having left her behind. I am sarcastic and occasionally harsh. Robin wasn't. I know because I asked, not because John holds her over me or compares us. And he would have had a gentler life had she lived. I try to remind myself that I owe it to her to be as good a job of taking care of him as she would have. I will catch myself about to say sentences that begin, "How many times have I?" or "Weren't you listening?" and stop to think of if he were still married to Robin, he wouldn't have to hear this. Okay, I'm not.
No, keep going. I'm already fed up with that. It was great until we got into what flow she has when it's that time of the month.
When our daughter was about 6, she and her father were exploring in the attic when she came across an unfamiliar box filled with Robin's things. She came running down the stairs in tears. "I found a box of jewels and Dad won't let me touch them," she cried. My husband and I don't even understand what's going on.
Skip to the last paragraph.
I have to find it first.
This is Prudie?
Yeah.
This is really long for a Prudie
this
article.
This is a question.
All right, but it's Prudie
Yeah, Slate. My
Wow.
husband and I have been married for 15 years, more than twice as long as he was married to Robin. My daughter's 13 now. So this isn't even like
Is there a
a
question?
question. Because there's no response.
There's no response? Biff, seriously? Did you just read an article?
Is 13 now and long ago outgrew the chair that Robin's family gave her. I keep it stored safely with her bassinet, the clown rattle, and her favorite jacket printed with elephants. I hope someday a granddaughter might use these things. If so, when that little girl is old enough, I will tell her that story of her other grandmother, Robin. That's it.
Biff, when you look at these questions, do you think to yourself...
Okay, in my defense, this didn't end.
It did not end.
I assumed that the other half of this was the response.
The other half of it was the
still
end.
the same half.
Oh my God. It was the last half of it. I mean, it's a sweet story.
I don't even get it.
I don't think it's meant to be gotten. I think it's like It sounds like an article to me more than a Prudie thing. Is there a Dear Prudie, Dear Prudence, is there anything on there? Does it marked as Prudence?
It says by Emily Yoffe. Yoffe.
She wrote the article?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, she wrote the article, but is it like her story? Does it say anything about Prudie or Prudence?
At the very end, it does not. So I'm unclear what we just read.
Well, here's my take on it. That you are honoring your husband's dead wife's memory, even with your daughter, is noble. It is absolutely, in my opinion, the right thing to do. He is going to love her forever. And I really don't know what else to say other than that.
It just was like over the top.
It was a very long article.
They don't have kids together, so it's not like the new wife is like trying to keep mom's, spirit alive. Mm-hmm. So I don't get it.
I think she's keeping the spirit alive for him, for her husband, because it's not like a cheating or the other woman situation.
I know, but my point is like, why? I get that like she was a huge part of his life. He was in love with her. He's devastated by her death. He's obviously chose to move on because he's in a new marriage. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So although I agree with you that like
it's noble.
Yeah, like it's not something that's like, I don't want to hear about your ex-wife. You know what I mean? Like that'd be shitty. But it's also doesn't, for me, feel like something that's like, oh, well, let's post a big, huge picture of your dead wife on the wall for our home. You know what I mean? Like, acknowledge it. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
You think that there's like a threshold?
Yeah.
Like there's like, yes, acknowledge it, but like you're making it a lifestyle?
Yes. Like,
Am I right by saying that?
Yes. Thank you. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she had children. You know what I mean? That'd be different. Like, yes.
I see how you could get there because she did say something to the effect that, like, when I'm going to say, like, this or that, like, oh, his ex-wife would have never said, or not ex-wife, his late wife would have never said this. But, like, how do you know? Like you don't know
she was gentle and I'm not. Well, he married you for a reason.
Right. It does sound like a comparison. I don't think that I would go...
She's trying to be her.
Yeah, I don't think I would go as far as to say like a lifestyle, but I do see how you get there. Personally, I just feel like she's trying to keep her memory alive for him, but it does, to your point, kind of feel like she's sacrificing her own marital identity for the memory of somebody she didn't know. She's trying
to be the dead wife.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. I didn't think of it that way.
I just thought it was weird that it like became this big of a thing when there's not the late wife doesn't have children. If the late wife had children that like were still in the home or even not even still in the home, just in general, like, then yes, I'm full support of like
keeping her memory alive. And you're like, okay, keep her memory alive, but like also realize that you have your own identity.
Like, right. I'm not going to live like I'm her.
Right.
Just because she would have never told you shut the fuck up doesn't mean I'm not.
Yes. Amen. And that's all I got.
Yeah, it just feels like a lot.
Yeah.
When there's not kids involved.
I can see how it goes that way, though.
I feel like if I was her kids...
I wouldn't default to that mindset, but yeah, I can get that.
I just feel like if I was her kids, not the late wives, the current ones.
The 15 or 13-year-old daughter.
Then I would be like, Mom, like... What is your obsession with this dead lady?
Who the fuck is Grandma Robin? Why is she not our Aunt Robin?
First of all.
Right, why is she a grandma?
Like, she's a wife who passed away, unfortunately. You know what I mean? And
I mean, it's a beautiful story, but it does have its
weird
kind
to
of...
me.
Yeah.
It's overboard. It's weird. You're trying to be the dead wife. You think... he loved the dead wife more than he loves you. So now you're trying to be the dead wife in hopes that he would love you equally.
It's the 4 months that stuck out to me. Stuck out? I can't. English. I'll never get it right. It's stuck chunk. Stuck chonker. Yeah, they were married after 4 months of knowing each other.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. But I mean, 15 years later.
But she said he's still depressed and miserable.
No, she said he snapped out of it after their first one.
Oh.
Once and for all.
Oh.
Because
I told you I don't know what I just read.
Right. It was almost as if he had felt guilty for
moving on.
But then he was just you know, and I think that's fair.
Absolutely.
I think that's fair and valid. In fact, I find no fault on his part. You know, he took you in and you're neurotic, and so you're trying to take on a new identity. Her social security number is 153-24-7792. That's all I got.
Yeah, I agree.
And her birth certificate is at the City Hall.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Okay.
Good one, Biff.
Well, oh my God. I'm strike 2 for strike 2.
I think that's the first time that we haven't actually had to give advice, but did anyway.
Well, because it's just so weird to me. And I'm sentimental as fuck.
It's so weird because you are, but you're not.
Sentimental as fuck.
Because anyone who knows you at your core knows that you are. Anyone who knows you at their surface is like, that bitch doesn't care about shit.
Mia just literally pulled a bag out the other day that was full of my baby shower cards.
Oh my God, you still have those?
I'm sentimental as fuck.
You're sentimental.
And this story was so weird to me. So weird.
You know, this wine is very significant of this episode, and I feel your sentiments should tell you to drink some of it.
I'm trying. It's really bad for me. Not for, well, it's also bad for me.
It's bad for you.
It's to me.
It's not bad for you. It's just, frowned upon.
Bad to me.
Frowned under.
I'll be good and bad, but I'll be bad for you. Bad.
Do I know this song?
Yeah, it's for Hannah.
Right, Hannah?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You definitely know that fucking song. Every time. Anyways, let's end on a good note, Biff. What you got?
This is not a good note.
Jesus
In fact,
H.
I just read the title of this.
That's why you keep telling me to drink.
I read the title of this and then read the subtitle, and I was like, this is actually very 2012. I want you guys to know that we're very much into woke culture. We're trying to learn every day about the things that are changing in the world, especially me, because of my line of work.
You're gay Puerto Rican, not Puerto Rican, Spanish,
or a Latino. We'll go through every nationality.
I wish you were Puerto Rican.
You do wish I was Puerto Rican.
I do love me a Puerto Rican.
So the title of this one is There's Something About Mary, which I take a little bit of offense to. You're going to hear it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Prudie offers advice on a woman who hasn't told her boyfriend she used to be a man. Now, do you get the Mary thing?
I think that's funny.
I mean, it's a little bit funny, but
hysterical.
Also
there's something about Mary.
But there's all
her chonk. Well, that's hysterical. I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying. That's the writer, right? Mary wrote this.
I don't think Mary wrote it. I think Mary's the subject. I'm not calling this person Mary anymore. They're the subject of the...
So somebody else wrote it for...
Well, somebody said like
this dude.
Oh, right. No, you're right.
So is this from
a
the
woman
wife?
who hasn't told her boyfriend she used to be a man?
Oh, so then it's not offensive anymore.
Well, There's Something About Mary is Prudie's title, and it is Emily Yoffe.
Oh, the writer doesn't make the title?
No.
Oh, I thought the writer made up a clever...
Oh, now it explains why you thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. And also why you think it's fucking
repulsive.
terrible.
And circle back. Glad we cleared that up. I don't know if you saw my face, but I was like, oh.
Yes, because I'm making the same face now.
Okay, yes.
Because I thought Mary herself wrote it.
No. No. Are you ready? Fucking Emily Yoffe.
Oh my God.
So this was actually a live chat, but someone transcribed it on the slate. This is from 2012, July 30th. The question is, Mary didn't even write. Why why am I doing this? I can't buy into this Mary bullshit. The person about whom this is
We're just
written
calling them Mary because it's easier.
It's also so offensive in my head. But it's the cousin who wrote this.
Mary's cousin.
Right. My female cousin won't tell her boyfriend she used to be male. My cousin is a beautiful woman, formerly a man. She's done a couple of modeling jobs as well. She has a lot of guys after her, but never had a serious relationship until now. She met my coworker, John, quote unquote John, several months ago, and things are starting to get serious. That's why I was surprised to discover that she hasn't told him about her gender reassignment. I usually think that the past is generally best left in the past, but this to me is a huge exception. By hiding her past as a man, I feel that my cousin is hiding a big and important chunk of her life. Chunk. I'm sorry. This is terrible.
Important chunk of her life.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. This is the wrong episode to write chunk in, period. My cousin says that John does not want kids anyway, so she has no reason to tell him, and now feel guilty whenever I see John. I know that only a handful of people outside the family know, but expected her to tell John that when they got serious. Should I insist on her telling him or butt out of it entirely? This is a really good question.
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, Biff?
Well, you're going to be wrong for that.
Who's going to be wrong for that?
For not disclosing that you were born male. But no, you're not wrong for that because
you're not
male.
This is hard.
Fucking female. Yeah, this is fucking hard.
This is hard. I'm trying to separate
being born one or the other?
No, I'm trying to separate the subject from the history. I don't know if that makes sense, so I'm going to explain. I'm trying to separate like trans male to female, female to male, non-binary, etc., from being open and honest about your past. Like when
in general.
When you're like in a committed relationship, in my opinion, there are certain things like you wouldn't disclose like stupid little things or things that make you feel like of a lesser person or maybe, or whatever.
I slept with 600 men
like
when I was 20.
Right. It would be more like I slept around. I wouldn't give you a number. Like I
wouldn't even say that I slept around.
Or I just like I enjoyed my 20s.
I wouldn't talk about my 20s.
See, that's where you and I differ. Because I'm like, girl, I went through, actually, even in my relationship now, I'm like...
What's the point, though?
I've gone through, I don't know that that's necessarily that there's a point. I think for us, in my relationship, like, we've known each other for a while, so we've known that stuff about each other. You know what I mean? Like, we were friends and we talked about that kind of stuff. But, like, even now, we'll just be like, oh, I hooked up with this guy, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We found out we hooked up with the same guy, like...
Yeah, that's different than just being like...
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I used to be a whore.
Yeah.
AKA, hey, I used to be a man. You know what I mean? Like...
I honestly can't put the two together in my head. But I think, like, being open and honest about your past, like, major things, like, would you... disclose from someone who you've been with forever that you had, I don't know, like that you
I had chlamydia one time, or I had,
well,
like, is
guys, she's not saying she's had chlamydia.
No, I have not. And I have not slept in 600
I don't know why
people.
I don't know why I felt the need to qualify that, but I did, and so here it is, because it doesn't matter. But like, I think let me be more specific. When you're courting and when you're seeing someone and when you're getting to know each other and becoming more serious, there are certain subjects that like come up in conversation regardless of what they are. And there are some things that you should like, you know, in my opinion, there are things that you should be open and honest about, like big things in your life, like, you know, and I know does not equate, but like, I used to be a smoker. I've been with females. If you know I have a kid, you better fucking know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like things like that. And I have certain things in my past I'm not proud about that I've also disclosed. Okay,
so I like that. That helped with my perspective. You being a gay guy in a gay relationship? How do I say that?
Homosexual relationship. I have no idea. If that was like a gay guy in a relationship probably covers it.
But that you've been with women. Because every guy you date is not meeting your child.
No, they have not.
Right. Which, so I think, I don't know, maybe that, I've heard about, you know, lesbian girls that don't like to be with girls that are bi or that have been with men.
Bisexual in the gay community is very, like, there's like really a bad stigma. Yeah. You're not part of a community.
You just get drunk and make out with girls or boys.
Something like that. And I think people need to just leave that the fuck alone and let people identify with how they identify and accept it.
But that was...
Sorry, I just went on a tangent over something stupid. Well, not stupid, but you know what I mean.
No.
Irrelevant.
But that's kind of what I'm not trying to say, but like where I'm coming from as far as like, if I was a lesbian girl and I didn't want a girl who was bi or who had been with men in the past or whatever, then yeah, that would be kind of something important for me for them to disclose. But I also think that's something that I would ask or bring up. This, I don't see that happening. I don't see or
it would have come up by now.
Right.
Type of situation.
Hey, did you used to be a guy? You know what I mean? Like, that's not like a...
Yeah. That's not a question you ask.
Yeah.
Especially in 2012.
Adam's apple or like something like you still got a penis.
But then you would probably be put off by it. Like,
you know what I mean? That's so, for me, this is super tricky. Because I don't necessarily believe in openly disclosing things that like aren't going to pertain to this relationship.
And right now.
Like,
which I agree with.
If I have herpes, yes, that's going to come into a new relationship. Right. That's going to be something that needs to be disclosed. Mm-hmm. If I banged girls in the past and I know my new boyfriend doesn't like gay girls, I'm not going to openly disclose this if he didn't ask.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
because that's not relevant to my new relationship.
Okay, so let me paint this in a different light.
Yes, please.
Only not because I was coming from this originally at any point. This is just something that kind of occurred to me while you were talking.
Yeah.
Your entire family knows your identity at birth, your biologically assigned gender.
Right.
At birth. Entire family. And you're going to bring this person around to every family function, praying that no one tells him. Praying. Because apparently, according to this cousin, they weren't asked to until they were like, oh, you haven't said anything to him yet? You haven't said anything to John yet? What do? Do you keep that until it explodes?
Until the drunk aunt at the Christmas party?
And there's always a drunk aunt.
That's a good point. So this is something that can come into. So this could potentially be herpes.
This could implicate the relationship. And let's say that this person is fine. John's fine with it.
This is how people get killed.
But John's fine with it, and now it's a breach of trust.
That's my point. There's been a lot of police shows that people got hurt over stuff like this. It's a big deal to some people.
It's a big deal to everybody in one way or another. The protection of or the
Right. For
the
all
damnation,
parties. All parties.
condemning.
Condemnation.
Is that right?
Yes.
Condemnation?
Yes. Condemnation. Condemned condemnation.
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 The looking down upon.
The condemning of.
The condemning of. Thank you. That's so much better. What do you...
It is condemnation. It's I don't know. If John can't fucking tell, like, I don't know. I can see the fear of, like, if I tell John, he could leave me.
But if you had told John at the beginning, it wouldn't have been... It won't be just as a big of an impact.
Well, that's probably why they don't disclose this, because probably a lot of people had left in the beginning.
Another thing that occurs to me is my understanding of the trans identity is a big part of it is the conquest, the personal conquest, being who they were as opposed to who they are, and being proud of those changes, being proud to be able to like overcome that obstacle, which was being born into the wrong body.
Having to live.
And being able to disclose that with people within the community. And being able to speak about that in a certain way. I've never known a trans person or a non-binary person who wasn't very forthcoming about it in my experience.
Yeah.
They're just very like, you know, like it's queer culture for those who subscribe to it is a very proud, a very robust way of life.
Because I'm finally free.
I'm free.
I'm finally me and who I was meant to be.
I can't see justifying putting yourself back in some sort of metaphorical closet because you're afraid that the person you're in love with won't love you anymore. In fact, before you even fell in love, you didn't tell this person that. And maybe that's why. Maybe because you've had bad luck in love, because you've been trans and you've told people and they've run away or ghosted you, etc. But I'd personally rather
be left for that.
In my situation, I'd rather a guy, and they have, a guy leave me because I have a kid, because I had...
And loved for who you're not.
Put my shit in a vagina because, like, etc., etc. I'd rather them...
Vagina?
You know what I mean. I shot in your... No.
Do you disclose this to your partners?
I do, and I tell them that I used a dental dam.
Oh.
Yes. Never did. So what I'm saying is, I'd rather be condemned.
You'd rather be
judged,
hated for who you are, than loved for who you're not.
Amen to that.
Okay.
You know that too.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I have to lend to this. And my advice. My advice is, you can't say anything as the cousin.
Absolutely not.
Shut your fucking whore mouth.
Absolutely not.
Can't say anything as the cousin. But what you can do is you have your conversation with your cousin and then you have to let it go.
Yeah.
It's not your responsibility.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Get the popcorn, a little bit of whiskey, maybe some pickle juice, chase it back with some Chateau de Roques.
Yeah, Puisseguin.
Some Puisseguin. Saint Emilion wine from 2015, and just watch the movie as it unravels, because it's not going to end pretty, because he is going to find out.
He has to.
Lies and secrets come up. It may be 20 minutes, 20 weeks, 20 years, 20 decades, centuries, etc. That drunk aunt, she's going for blood. She's coming for blood.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't agree.
Yep. There's always one. There's always one that doesn't agree, doesn't accept it, doesn't think it's okay.
It's blasphemous. It's a strike against God, against religion, your family.
So are you gay?
Yep.
Since you're with a man?
Right. Exactly. That's exactly it, Biff.
Yeah.
I'm actually very proud that you,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just proud.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anytime. We have some deep conversations on this subject. So
all the time.
that you were able to kind of say that and kind of separate it actually makes me feel very good.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. So that's literally, I'm going to shut the fuck up and give you time to talk now.
I don't have anything else to say. I feel like I'm tempted to say that, like, you're wrong for not disclosing that, but there's still part of me that's like,
it's not pertinent to this relationship.
A woman. I'm not going to tell my boyfriend, like, I was born a woman. He's gonna be like, no fucking shit. Like, okay, I was born a man. You know what I mean? Like, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I wholeheartedly agree that you're going to introduce to the family, unless you're not. If you're not serious about dating and you're expecting an ending sooner than later, then whatever. Like, just be careful, because people could be very upset about finding this information out.
And disgusting about it.
Murder.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of fucking police videos where gay, trans, whatever, they're not open and disclosed, and things were found out later. Or even if they did know and we're trying to be secret and someone else found out, people get killed over this shit.
In my opinion, trust breeds trust.
Yeah.
And that's really where my response comes from. You need to afford the same level of trust in your partner that you want them to afford to you.
Yeah, that is, I know, but it's like,
I know.
It's the same thing. I don't tell my boyfriends that I was born a woman.
You don't need to.
But
and that's the stupidest part.
But that's the weirdest thing, is that, like
what does need mean?
She's a woman right now.
She's a woman, period.
Woman.
She's been a woman all along.
Right.
And maybe that's where she's coming from.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very in the middle with this.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
It's definitely rock hard.
Do we want to
Yes.
read this chonker?
Yes, we definitely do. I forgot there was an answer.
There's a response. Oh my God. And it's not as long as you would think.
Oh, good.
All right. I agree that beginning a relationship does not require presenting your new love interest a due diligence dossier, nor a cheek swab of one's DNA.
I'm so glad you got this one.
Because dossier.
Because
due diligence dossier.
Yeah.
3 Ds. Take them.
3 Ds.
Take all 3 Ds.
Let's hope one's a chunker.
But there is some information that potential partners are entitled to pretty early on. These include one's marital status, STD test results, interactions with law enforcement, relevant medical conditions, including previous substance abuse problems. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Questions about sexual orientation and gender at birth. For some potential partners, the information revealed may elicit a shrug. I have herpes too. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. For some potential partners, the information revealed may elicit a shrug, quote unquote. I have herpes too. Yes. For others, it will be a deal breaker. Quote, I appreciate you're telling me you have 3 kids out of wedlock, but I think we're just at different places in our life, end quote. That Juliet was born Jason is just one of those things that will be revealed eventually. Juliet should realize that the
got cut off.
I know. I don't even know. I'm trying to say dishonesty and I can't. Juliet should realize the dishonesty of not telling.
The dishonesty of not telling.
Could itself become a relationship ender, thinks Beth. Jesus, commas, people. When relationships get serious, that usually leads to visits with the family and often a look at childhood photo albums.
Nailed it.
Juliet will either have to keep John away. What?
And drunk aunties.
Yes. My poor aunt. Juliet will either have to keep John away or ask her family to do a Soviet-style editing of history. It's just not going to work. Someone is going to out Juliet, and surely she knows it. I think you should tell your cousin she's living a dream world and that she's being unfair to John, even if he has a lack of desire for children. Of course, it could be that John flees, or it could be that he says, quote, she's more than woman enough for me, end quote. But it's right to know.
Or, I used to be a woman.
Or,
Imagine.
I would love that.
That would be like ultimate outcome.
But I think that if that was the case, more often than not, someone who's trans would be very forward of it.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Yeah.
And so
that would just
she'd already know. Yeah. But it is right to know the crucial piece of history. You are in a difficult position since you have relationships with both parties. But you didn't fix up John and Juliet, so don't bear the moral responsibility of letting him know. Anything with an L tonight is just not working.
Ever.
No.
In life.
I think you should tell your cousin you will not be the one to deliver the news to John. If he brings up the relationship with you,
but
you
Aunt
can be
Patty
not.
will.
Aunt Patty will. Fuck Patty.
My aunt was Patty, she died.
What?
My aunt was Patty and she died.
I have a former Patty relative, and that's the end of that. If he brings up the relationship with you, you can be non-committal and tight-lipped and just say you're glad to hear he's enjoying your cousin's company.
Oh, don't say that.
Wow.
If somebody said that to me, I'd be like, all right, what are we hiding? I'm glad you're enjoying her company.
Yeah.
Bitch, why? What should I be doing?
What?
Who else is enjoying her company?
Literally, like,
who else is enjoying her company?
Steven's enjoying company too.
What, she got the men here?
Oh my god.
That's funny.
So now you know why I wanted to save this one for you.
Yeah.
This was an interesting one. I know that's one we have a lot of discussions on, that kind of subject of the trans identity.
Yeah.
And I think just to speak like very well and give you props where it's due, like you've done everything to try to understand and be compassionate on the front of gender identity. And it's not that you're like coming from a place.
No, I wasn't. Literally,
you've never
my
come
whole
from
life.
A place of malice, ever.
No, I just grew up hearing men are men, women are women.
Yep.
My mom, me, my sister, we were home and cooked and cleaned, and my brothers took trash out and went to work, and that's how I was raised. My brother asked my dad to get an earring, and my dad said, yeah, if you wear your sister's skirts.
Right.
Like literally grew up hearing men are men, women are women.
Yep.
And like that was just all I knew.
And any of our listeners that listen know, like we have this conversation at length, like, you know, the gender roles, gender identity. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a miracle to this day in some respects that like you and I are best friends just because of
literally we're so opposite in so many ways.
Yeah. Oh, in so many ways.
So opposite.
Like just the fact that I was raised by a mother who was like, fuck men, but still like needed a man or wanted one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and also be a man.
Right. And also be
fuck men,
our
but be one.
dynamics are so fucking hilarious. It works for us. It totally works for us.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kudos to you for just like, you've been a woman. Like, fuck you. Fuck you, cousin.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had to learn a lot. I had to change a lot of...
But the separation is between you and other people who have been in your situation is not just the willingness, but like the acknowledgement of humanity in its various forms. Like it's
right. I was raised black and white.
Right.
Yet
and you're
this
like
world is
and you're like, this is grayscale
actual city. Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, well, I need to unlearn some things or learn new things or just
and
whatever.
And that's, I mean, I think that not just that, but that amongst other billions of experiences that you've had have led you to your current like psych major and trying to learn things about people, you know, aside from murderers and
Yeah, love them motherfuckers.
Yes.
In a
Where
super
she's
weird
not
way.
celebrating them.
No. I love to learn them.
Right. Yeah. We should go and learn today.
I definitely learned Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yes, you did. Oh my. Did you finish?
I did.
Okay.
Did you finish?
I did.
You finished on his chest, didn't you?
No way. I would have finished
Not
on
Jeffrey
his...
Dahmer, the actor who's acting him.
Evan Peters.
Yes.
Peter Evans. Which one is it?
Peter
Peters?
Evans?
Evan Peters
Evan.
sounds right.
Evan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I did not know. He's not my type. Yeah,
He's
definitely too tall.
He's so not my type either, but holy shit, that man can act.
Oh my
And
God.
this is completely separate from Jeffrey Dahmer. Please, guys.
And 100% different from the last question we just fucking talked about. Trans does not equal Dahmer.
Oh, no, that was nothing.
That's what I meant.
with-
Like,
yeah, no.
No.
I was just talking about he's a fine motherfucker.
It was
Weird to watch him and be attracted to him while he was playing Jeffrey Dahmer. That was very strange for me.
He's got like the talent, and Ryan Murphy, who produced it, also did American Horror Story. Still does American Horror Story, which is why Evan's on all of these, I think, because of their connection. He did a fantastic job writing it, and I'm really, really happy. I think we mentioned this last week.
Yeah, that they
celebrated the victims. It's to this day, and I'm so fucking shocked. I can't believe the city never did anything. That where the building used to stand still isn't a memorial to these victims.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
It's so weird.
Although I have to say that I was actually surprised that they did knock the building down. I feel like they don't do that. You didn't hear about that happening when, like, there's been more than just Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I mean?
Right. There's
gang. All the boys in his attic and his basement, and that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You didn't hear about these places.
I think it's just independent of these cities. What is there now? Is there just a field? Is there anything?
I have no idea. Is it just
a concrete block?
I don't know.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, probably.
Oh my God.
Where was it?
Bro, seriously?
Oh man,
Ohio?
I do not remember. I was just gonna say Ohio.
Where?
So it must be Ohio.
It wasn't Cincinnati, but like outskirts. Was it? Literally, when we talked last, I was like, "Oh, I have a few minutes left," and I literally hit play, and it was done. That he used
to go to meet the men are still there.
A lot of gay bars from the back then are like extinct. They don't exist anymore.
We need to find the old gay bars that were and go to those
and restore them to their former glory.
We'll just get drunk there by ourselves, like it's still a bar.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. There's some things go without saying.
True.
Well, let's get an Uber
to Ohio.
To Ohio. We'll pay you on standby with our earnings from this podcast.
Yes, podcast.
Oh my God.
Biff will pay you in chunk.
You've got more chunk than I do.
Did you just call me fat? Wow.
Can't.
I was referring to your penis.
I said chunk, not chunk.
Referring to mine. Exactly. What else on me would be chunky? Not this dick.
That dick. You
literally just called me fat.
Historically had the biggest dick.
Balls, not dick.
No, dick. To your credit, you could also knock down a Dahmer building with your balls.
My cock and balls.
However,
my chunk and balls.
You historically have had to reel that shit in from your ankles since high school.
Whatever. You still call me fat. Chunky.
Sure. Whatever makes you happy, but you still have, at this table, you could literally go, I just can't even put into words.
So, in comparison to our new microphones.
Bigger. You're two. You're one on top of the other.
Oh my God.
You might be three.
I can't even do porn now.
You could touch yourself in a porn.
I could fuck myself in a porn. Yes. With 3 of these bad boys. I'll never need a partner ever again.
Amen, girl.
Except if I wanted babies.
You don't need those. You might need 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You're asexual now.
Baby batter.
Ew.
Bake my own cakes.
bake my own cakes. Guys.
Anywho, we sure went out with a bang. Pun intended.
Send us your questions, comments, all of your
All the
concerns. You've been illadvisedthepodcast.com, and you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
At Ill-Advised the Podcast.
Or you can find us online at illadvisedthepodcast.com. And as always, you look fantastic. Your thong still brown. But, you know, a little bit of bleach will help. And thank you so much for listening.
You've been ill-advised.